Hi all, welcome to our another interview experience session. Our guest for today is Yash Gupta, who is a project engineer at Disney Plus Hotstar. So we'll be starting the session soon. Meanwhile, I'd request you all to ask your friends to join this webinar. And also, you can drop in your comments, whichever queries you have. I will ask Yash at the end of the webinar. Okay, so without much further ado, I'd like to invite Yash. Hi Yash,
Yeah, sure. Hi.
how are
Okay.
you
So,
today?
yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so we'd be starting this session.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to start about asking about yourself. Can you please give a brief introduction about yourself and also your company?
Sure, sure. So, by the way, I am actually SD1, not a project engineer at Hotstar. So, yeah, I wanted to clarify that. Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay,
So,
that must be a mistake from our part.
yeah. Okay. So, my name is Yash, and I graduated from Delhi Technological University. I'm currently working as SD1 at Hotstar. Prior to joining Hotstar, I worked as intern at Urban Ladder, Intelligent Technologies and Delivery. I was also a teaching assistant for Coding Ninjas for their competitive programming course. I was also Google Coding mentor for TensorFlow. And yeah, that's about me.
Okay, so you also teach coding on Coding
No, I
Ninjas?
don't. No, I don't teach coding. I was a teaching assistant at Coding Ninjas for four
Okay,
months
okay.
in last year.
Okay, so Yash, how are you finding it in the company?
Yeah, the work culture is great. The work is great at Hotstar. I'm currently working as Android engineer with the monetization team. So I'm getting really, really good work here. And I'm currently working with the ads specifically. Yeah, it's really interesting as well, the work. And I
Okay.
feel that the work which I get, yeah, I get a lot of ownership of that. And plus, I can see my features going live in the app. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so I'd like to start with my question about your opportunity. How did you find it? Was it on campus or was it somewhere outside?
Yeah, so it was a off-campus opportunity. Hotstar was basically hiring first-time fresh graduates out of college, and it was an off-campus opportunity. I found about it on LinkedIn. Yeah, and
Okay.
I applied using Easy Apply on LinkedIn. People say that Easy Apply doesn't work, but in my case, it
Okay.
worked. So I would encourage everyone to at least apply
Yeah,
because people
definitely.
a lot of time people look for referrals and everything. Referral is good, but if you are not getting referral, you should just apply because it may happen that the opportunity closes. So
Yeah, the more
it's
the
better to
merrier.
apply without referral than waiting for a referral and not getting one and missing out on
Yeah,
that
some people
opportunity.
like they apply to 5 or 10 companies and they're like, I'm
Yeah.
not getting anywhere.
Yes.
So I think you should just go on and apply, and
Yeah.
definitely someone will call you.
I've applied for 100 plus companies because I was from electrical, so I knew that I won't get a good offer from my college. Even though companies come to my college, I was placed in delivery only on campus. But as everyone knows, the offer wasn't that good, so I knew that I had to look off campus. So yeah.
Okay. So great. I'd like to move on.
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk about your interview rounds. How many rounds were there, and can you briefly describe every round?
Sure. So there were four rounds and there was one HackerRank test. So HackerRank test had two questions. One was PFS and one was DP. I was able to solve both the questions and all the test cases were passing. And other than that, there were four rounds. So out of the four rounds, two were DSA based. One was hiring manager and one was last HR round. So in the two DSA rounds, two questions were asked from me. Both the rounds happened in one single day only. And after a week, I got the hiring manager round. And after 1 week, I got the HR round, final HR round. So in the hiring manager round, he just asked about what did I do in internships and what my subjects were in college, what electives did I take. So it was more of a conversation, and it didn't feel like an interview. It felt more of a conversation. And in the HR round, the same thing, cultural fit questions, something like that.
Okay. So how long did this whole process take?
Okay, so my two DSA, okay, so I applied around first week of May, I guess, and then 1 week after that I got a test. I solved the test on the day I got it, And this is a really good thing that if you solve the test on the day you get it, it is better. Because some of my friends solved the test after 2 or 3 days because the deadline was for 1 week. They weren't considered even if they solved both the questions. But me
Okay.
and one of my friend, he also gave the test on same day, and we both got the call. So that's also important that you give the test as soon as you get it, because a lot of people apply at the same time. So I think first come first serve is also there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
So, Yash, can you tell us about your tech stack?
yeah, tech stack at Hotstar. Yeah, so as I said that I'm working as an Android engineer. So here I'm working on Kotlin and Java. I get to work with both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you were working on these languages from the beginning, or was it that you changed here?
Yeah, I changed it here. So during my college days, I only did C++. I did all my DSA in C++. I built some projects using Python and JavaScript. And when I joined Hotstar, I was told that I would be working with the Android team. So I had to start looking into Android. So I went through the documentation provided by Google only for Android. It's really good. If someone wants to start, I think that's the best way, because I learned Android from the documentation only, and I'm able to contribute to Hotstar. So there is not much verification required in that. And yeah, so I learned Kotlin and Java in my during my job only.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, moving on, can you tell us about your projects that you worked on, and was it different from the rest of the crowd?
Sure. Okay. So initially in my resume, when I was sitting for my on-campus placements, I had only done one internship. That was at Intugen. So I put that in my resume and my teaching assistant experience only in my resume. In projects, I had two machine learning projects and two React projects uh, that time. After that, when I got my on-campus offer, it was around November. I started looking for internships. So I got an internship at Urban Ladder. So by March, I had 3 months of experience at Urban Ladder as a header. So I put that in my resume and the projects that I did there. After that, I joined Delivery as intern for 2 months. So I put that also. So when I applied to Hotstar, my resume had only one or two projects. They were machine learning based. Other than that, they had internships and teaching assistant experience.
Okay, so you have also developed websites using React.
Yeah, I deployed on Firebase. Yeah,
Okay, through Firebase. Okay.
yeah. Deployment is really necessary because if someone wants to see what you have built, so they can see that okay, this is what
Right.
he has built. Yeah, he doesn't need to
Yeah.
ask a lot of questions. He can just click and see that this is what you have built.
Okay, okay. Okay. Uh, can you tell us about your preparation strategy? The most important
Yeah, sure.
question for our people here.
Sure, sure, sure. So towards the end of my second year, some seniors in my college, they took up a session and they were explaining us what placement actually are, and they actually opened my mind that I need to prepare. It is not something like if I do 1 or 2 courses, I would get a job. That was not the case. So they told us that you need to prepare. This is how you need to prepare and everything. So they told me about a website called Interview Bit. So I started practicing there. During my summers, I practiced there. Then I thought that okay, now I'll be able to get an internship on campus. I sat for interns and I wasn't able to clear all the online tests. And some of my friends they were from computer science, so they were. So I asked them what is the difference between me and their preparation. So they told me that they practice on code forces. They gave a lot of contests. So from the start of my third year, I started giving contests on code forces. And each and every contest I gave for the next 8 9 months, I was able to reach the expert level there. My highest rating is around 1700 from two IDs. So yeah, I was able to reach there. I solved around 700 questions on code forces. After that, I started practicing on lead code for my interviews, and there also I've solved 300 400 questions. So that was my preparation.
Okay, so competitive programming is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
important if you want
yes,
to
yes.
secure job and
For
also
DSA
better
rounds,
yourself.
it's really important. Yeah. Because I feel that uh, the the more I practice on code forces, it actually helped me every time. Because I for Hotstar only, my first round it ended in around 30 minutes. I was given two questions and I was able to solve both them. And the interview only told me that you are going to the next round because I was able to solve both questions. And I don't think that if I only solved lead code, it would have been possible because my thinking ability and everything increased and my speed also increased because of CP.
Yeah, as you said
That's
that you
a
have solved more than
yeah,
700 questions. That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. And I also appeared for PhonePe interview. So even in that, I was asked three questions, and two of them were hard, and one was medium. And I was given only 1 hour, and I was able to solve all the questions. That's why my second round didn't happen. I got an offer from PhonePe as well, but it
Oh,
was all because of the CPA of all the questions I had solved. So I would say that according to me, solving questions is very important. If you want to excel in interviews, you need to solve questions, and you need to increase the speed.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Any advice that you want to give our audiences? Like, if you want to, if they want to learn from the basics, where should they
yeah.
go?
Yeah. Okay. So there are always two, three ways. They can take courses from institute. They can learn on their own pace. So if someone asks me, I recommend them two things. That if they want to learn concepts, they can learn from GFG only. You have a lot of articles. I myself have studied a lot from GFG. But if you have a small time and you need to cover all the DSA and everything, so they can take a course from anywhere. There are a lot of institutes like GFG also provides courses. They are coding blocks, coding ninjas. All these institutions they provide DSA courses. So you can do a course from there. You would be able to get all the concepts very in a small time, and yeah, then you can start practicing. But if you are in first year, I would suggest that go do it on your own. But if you are in third year or second year, I would suggest that you can take a course because it makes it easier.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to some questions from some people. Okay. So Abhi Sharma is asking, do Hotstar hire BCA graduates?
Okay. So I don't remember the requirements specifically, but what I have seen is that one of my cousins also doing BCA. So I have seen that in requirements of a lot of companies, even in Amazon and everything, it is written that you are required to do MCA. So I would suggest that you use your time in doing. You can do MCA also, and then you would be able to get a job equivalent to a BTech. But I don't think from only BCA companies don't hire. At least big companies won't
Okay.
hire. Startups, I think they will hire because they require people with skills. But big companies like Amazon or Hotstar or any big company, Flipkart, they all have a requirement that they only require MCA graduates.
So if someone does BCA and they
Yeah,
get an opportunity in some startup and
yeah,
they spend a pretty amount of time there
yeah,
building up their
yeah,
skills. So after
yeah.
that, is there a possibility that these big companies can hire them?
Actually, I don't know about that because it's all written in requirements. If you want to see the requirements of two, three experienced people, you can go see on websites, and there you will get an idea that after 3 years of experience, is a BTech necessary or a MC necessary or not, or it solely depends on the experience. Because I've done BTech, so I don't know much about what companies are
Okay,
looking
okay,
for.
okay. I
Yeah,
understand.
so I can't give a definite answer.
Right. Okay, so Nance is asking about the DAC questions that you got in your first two rounds.
So from what I remember is in my first round I got two string and hashing based questions. In my second round I got one topological sort question and one DP question. Second round
Okay.
was tougher, but even in my second round, also my interviewer said that the topological sort question was very difficult. So, but I was able to solve it very quickly, around 25 minutes. So he actually told me that I only brought one question for you, but since you were able to solve this question really fast, I'm giving you another question, and I hope that you would be able to solve that as well. I know that you would be able to solve that as well. So that's really good to hear in your interview because you know that it is going really well, and it actually boosts your confidence, which is
Right.
required the most.
Okay. Devesh is asking about how many internships and projects should be in the resume for the interview.
Okay. So yeah, I would say that do as many internships as you can. Do two, three internships. That would really help your resume. If you're not from a really good college, companies would come on campus. Then you can do a lot of internships that will really boost your resume. And projects also two, three projects are fine. But if you're from a good college and companies come to your college, you can do one or two internships and then could do a lot of side projects. And for if you're from good college, you can also focus a lot on CP as well, because on campus CP is asked a lot. All the tests they have CP.
Okay.
Yeah,
Artistic engineer is asking about any advice for second year students.
second year. Yeah, sure. Okay, so for second year, so you still have 2 years left for your preparation. After that, you will be sitting for companies only. So in second year, try looking into DSA if you haven't. First, go through all the concepts in DSA. Take up a course if you want. If you don't want, you can go through GFG articles only. And in second year, and start giving contests on code forces. That would be my recommendation. Start practicing on code forces.
Okay, Ekta is asking about your machine learning projects.
Okay, so one was image captioning project, and one was related to GAN, generative adversarial networks.
Okay. Okay, that would be the last question for today.
Hmm.
He is currently in second year and complete basics in C++. How can he do DSA?
Okay, so yeah, he can just start with already essay. I'll tell you the basic data structures that there are. You have to cover array, then strings. Then you can start with linked list. Oh, first look into oops before going to linked list. Look into oops of C++. Then go to linked list. Then stacks and queues. Then you can start looking into trees, and then priority queue, hash maps, tries, and these are all the basic data structures that you need to know. Also look into graphs as well. They are very important in if you look into perspective of interviews, and also look into dynamic programming. So and start practicing on code forces. That would be my only recommendation to all the second years out there.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Yash, for giving your insights into this, how to get into Hotstar. And I hope our
Sure.
audiences got the answer to all their questions.
Yeah, sure.
So that's it
Yeah,
for today.
thank
We'll
you.
be wrapping up today's session. And thank you
Okay.
once again, Yash. And I
Yeah, no problem.
hope you
Thank
all
you.
the best for your future
Thank you.
endeavors.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so that was Yash from Disney Plus Hotstar. If you want to join our future webinars, you can check out the links in our description and register yourself for live mock webinars and interview experience webinars as well. So thank you guys for today. That will be it, and I'll be meeting you again soon.